Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brad Klimovich. Jesus, would you please come on up? I want to introduce you to Jesus. He's going to be my audience today. And if you give me just one moment, Jesus, please have a seat. Ladies and gentlemen, domestic violence is a social phenomenon that's sweeping our nation and globally. The purpose of my introduction here today is to inform not only my friends and community at large about this disturbing social phenomena called domestic violence, but also to let you know that typically it happens in an intimate partner relationship between man and woman, or for those couples that are in alternative lifestyles. My specific purpose for speaking to you today is to let you know that without social awareness about this domestic violence phenomena that's going on in our communities, then we're going to still have abusive relationships, and without a safety plan to be able to help people escape this disturbing phenomena, we'll never find positive change. The perpetrator in a domestic violence case is typically either a man or a woman. More often they're men than women. And what we find is that they use a coercive pattern of control, whether it be punctuated by psychological, economic, spiritual, or even sexual behaviors that demean and take the self-esteem away from a person that's identified as a victim. They can also rely on physical violence to perpetrate their will upon somebody else. And this is a crime. I'm a certified batterers intervention facilitator with North Valley Anger Management here in Los Angeles County. We serve the Superior Courts, the LA Probation Department, State Parole, Department of Children and Family Services, and people like this in our community to help educate perpetrators, but also to help victims of violent crime so that they can get past this disturbing cycle of violence. With that being said, I'd like to give you a little bit more information about what purpose does a victim serve to a perpetrator. A perpetrator wants to be taken care of. A perpetrator can be just like your neighbor next door. They want to have the look of somebody that's successful, and they want to have a partner that does not talk back and just makes them look good. And sometimes they'll even rely on intimidation to get what they want from their victim, and the victim will not say a thing back. They'll also use them for financial gain. Sounds kind of funny, but people actually use other people for their pocketbooks. A perpetrator knows what they're doing. It's not just a one-time event. Most of the time, it's deliberate, it's planned by the perpetrator, and without a doubt, stats show us, the Los Angeles Police Department says 1 in every 2 families at some time in their life is going to have domestic violence enter their home. That's a very disturbing number, but a lot of times these numbers are not reported. So what will happen is, through fear of retaliation, the victim stays quiet and the abuse continues to go on. The obstacles for leaving the relationship: how are they going to pay for the kids? How are they going to take care of themselves if that perpetrator takes off? And so there's a social bonding that goes on, and they learn to live with that trauma and that drama. The beliefs from their church and their families sometimes put a stigma on them, and there's a sense of ambivalence about what a relationship should be, and they stay there and they continue to suffer the abuse without regard to little children or other people that are being affected by the perpetrator's grasp. This is known as trauma bonding, and it becomes an addiction, quite like a sexual addiction, drugs, alcohol, and the person is engulfed in this, and it is devastating. So what does a victim do? Well, once a victim has finally decided that they do want to move on, they need to put together a safety escape kit, quite like an earthquake. And what they're going to need is a cell phone, all their toiletries, their bank account information, and they need to keep a secret, except for those that are trusted, like some of their neighbors, their employers, people of that nature, so that when they are ready to go, they'll be able to get out of town without any more abuse. One important factor is to always protect the children and be able to improvise as needed. During the safety plan, you certainly don't want to get into a fight in a place like a kitchen or a garage, any place where something might be used as a weapon, like a hammer, a knife, anything like that. Consider getting your locks changed. And through all of this, we want you to know what the red flags are so that you can have other people help you to escape this cycle of violence. In conclusion, awareness about domestic violence and the effect it has on a person's self-esteem and the other people around them, and taking action to stop this cycle of violence is the only way we're going to see positive change come with this disturbing social phenomena that we know as domestic violence.